kuna mtu ako na namba ya William Ruto, arekodi hii video mtumie. Maisha yangu tangu nizaliwe sijawahi kuona mtu muongo, mfisadi, baradhuli, dhabdhabina kama William Samoei Ruto.
Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, the Honorable Hassan Ali Joho.
Huyu Joho tumetoka naye mbali vile ameeleza nyinyi historia yake. Nishika yeye kama kijana ndogo hapa, tukaweka yeye hapa katika by election ya hapa Kisauni, tukavurugana wakati ile na wakafanya ile ujanja yao bila alifanya.
Ali Hassan Joho was a governor in Mombasa County and is currently serving as a cabinet secretary. In Mombasa, he is more than a politician. He is a beloved figure to many residents of Mombasa. Joho is a symbol of hope, resilience, and representation.
Na watu waniambia, wewe watoka Mombasa, wewe watoka Pwani, wewe Muislamu, unataka vipi urais? Mimi nikamwambia, my friend, jua na uelewe na ukubali, kama wataka, kama hutaki, kama wapenda, kama hupendi, sura hii utaiona katika ballot ya urais 2027.
However, little is known about what really happened to his life. Ali Hassan Joho was born on 26th February 1976 in Mombasa, raised in the densely populated and economically struggling neighborhoods of Kisauni.
Mimi Hassan Joho nikitaka kuongea, I don't even dream of engaging with them. Ati huyu akitaka aje aongee sio na mimi niongee na Ruto nini? Mimi nikamtafute atanipa nini? Wilbaro. Nilipeleka Wilbaro mimi la kimtaani la kucheza nalo zamani.
His father, Mzee Ali Joho, and his mother, Kulthum, did everything they could to raise their children. But life was not easy. Poverty was not something they read about. It was something they lived with daily.
Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi sitaki kusema sana. Mimi nimesikia watu wameongea hapa. Ubaya siku hizi mimi niko na boss hapa. Sasa paka nipime nini? Maneno. Lakini tutarudi tukiwa peke yetu. Siku hiyo ndo utajua haujui. Ukituletea noma, tunakurudishia noma.
Joho went to Tomboyo Primary School, but even basic education was a challenge. His schooling was constantly interrupted by lack of school fees and family hardships. At a young age, he learned responsibility, sacrifice, and survival. When most children were playing, he was working. In secondary school at Serani, he was doing odd job to support himself and sometimes his family.
I did not do well in my secondary school. I got a D-, no doubt. But Mr. Speaker, I turned that around. Today, as I sit here, I hold 2 degrees that are before you. Mr. Speaker, I am on my pathway to attain a master's degree from the most prestigious university in the world.
He carried luggage at the port, pushed carts, and picked whatever work came his way. He has often spoken openly about scoring a D- in his KCSE. Many hide such grades. Joho embraced his because the grade was not the end of his life. It was the beginning of a new form of determination.
Some of us historical struggles are real. Yeah. People don't understand. They think it can sound like a joke. I struggled historically to be where I am. But these issues are real. Now Wakenya wengi wamesota wakiwa vijana, and whenever they had an opportunity to improve on their lives, they did it. So, and I want to repeat, not that I take offense, but I've given my story for a long time now. Yeah. And I can continue to give it for as long as anybody brings it up. Yes, I did not do well.
In the midst of hardship, a fire was growing inside him. He promised himself that poverty would not imprison him forever. He refused to be defined by where he came from or the struggles he faced. And in the years that followed, that promise will change his life forever. At around 20 years old, Joho was working at the port of Mombasa. It was there, among containers and cargo, that he saw opportunity. His first big breakthrough came when he was involved in clearing and forwarding transaction worth 6.6 million shillings.
Huyu Joho tumetoka naye mbali vile ameeleza nyinyi ile story yake. Nishika yeye kama kijana ndogo hapa, tukaweka yeye hapa katika by election ya hapa Kisauni. Tukavurugana wakati ile na wakafanya ile ujanja yao bila alifanya. Nikamwambia usiwe na wasiwasi, mambo bado katika kuja. Amerudi, ameingia kwa bunge.
For a young man who had once slept on the floor and who sometimes struggled to buy food, this moment was life-changing. He realized that the world was full of money. He just needed to position himself where it was moving. He ventured into waste management, an industry many looked down upon, but Joho did not. He built Prima Paste and Beans, a company that would later secure a multi-year contract with Kenya Port Authority. From this, he expanded into logistics, shipping, and environmental services. He later established MTech Kenya Limited, East African Terminals, and other businesses linked to port logistics and transport. By his early 30s, Joho was no longer the struggling boy of Kisauni. He was a rising millionaire. People began to ask how such wealth had grown so fast, but Joho kept the same message: hard work, risk-taking, and bold decisions. Whether that was the full truth or not remains debated. After making money in business, Joho returned to education. He pursued bridging courses, diplomas in shipping, logistics, and ICT, and later a bachelor's degree at Kampala University. He would later pursue further studies at Gov'T University and attended leadership programs, including the Harvard Kennedy School Public Leadership Credential Program. But education will become one of the biggest weapons used against him. His KCSE grade was mocked. His university degrees were questioned. Political opponents claimed he forged documents. Some demanded that he be barred from running for office. Joho fought back fiercely. He appeared before vetting committees and court sessions, and the public insisting that every one of his credentials was legal and valid. He turned the attacks into part of his political brand, saying he may have started poorly in academics, but he redeemed himself later in life. His education narrative became symbolic, proof that second chances existed, that people could grow beyond their circumstances, and that failure was not permanent. Joho's political journey began in the early 2000s when he became active in Liberal Democratic Party. By 2007, he had risen enough to contest the Kisauni parliamentary seat under ODM, and he won. As an MP, he quickly became known for his confidence, charisma, and ability to mobilize people. He also became an assistant minister for transport, placing him close to powerful networks and institutions. In 2013, when Kenya transitioned to the new constitution, he contested the Mombasa governorship. His campaign was one of the most expensive the county had ever seen. He won, becoming the first governor of Mombasa. He became more than a county boss. He became a national figure, a symbol of coastal political power, and a close ally of Raila Odinga. He rose to deputy party leader of ODM, solidifying his authority. In 2017, he won again, securing a second term. And in 2024, he was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Mining, Blue Economy, and Maritime Affairs. But with rising power came rising enemies. No story of Joho can be complete without the controversies that shadow his career. In 2010, Joho was named among people allegedly linked to drug trafficking. The allegations were tied to foreign intelligence reports and political rivalries. For over a decade, the accusations persisted, despite the fact that he was never charged, arrested, or proven guilty of any drug-related crime. Joho repeatedly denied everything, calling the allegations political weapons meant to destroy him. He even challenged Interpol to confirm whether he had ever been on any wanted list. To this day, the allegations remain unproven, but they continue to follow him. As mentioned earlier, opponents claimed he falsified degrees. Court cases, political fights, and public debates surrounded the matter, but none concluded with him being barred from office. Joho faced several legal challenges during his tenure. One of the most talked about involved a businessman who sued him over land disputes, leading to a contempt ruling. Joho's lifestyle became a national topic. His expensive cars, luxurious clothes, designer watches, private jets, and elaborate events. For his supporters, this was a symbol of success. For critics, it was a question mark. Where did all this money come from? His security was sometimes withdrawn. Government agencies occasionally targeted his businesses. He was once dramatically blocked from attending a presidential event at Mtongwe, and he openly accused the state of political persecution. At multiple points, it seemed like Joho's political career might collapse under pressure. In February 2011, Joho married Madina Giovanni Fazini under Islamic law. They started their life together in Mombasa, soon welcoming their 2 children. But by 2013, cracks began to show. Joho moved out of their matrimonial home. Madina was left to care for their children, now aged about 8 and 9 years. And on January 26, 2022, Madina filed for divorce in the Mombasa Kadhi's court, citing irreconcilable differences. She had stayed in the matrimonial home until September 2020 before finally moving out. The divorce was officially granted in February 2022. Madina continues to raise their 2 children, with Joho agreeing to provide support. As a governor, Joho became known for his bold speeches, sometimes directly taking on the presidency. He presented himself as the defender of coastal rights, the voice of a marginalized region and champion of devolution. He invested in healthcare, markets, water projects, infrastructure, urban upgrades, and education bursaries. Supporters praised his leadership as transformative. Critics complained about tender controversies, county debt, and governance gaps. But despite criticism, Joho left office with strong popularity in the coast. His influence was so strong that he was seen as the coastal kingpin, the person whose endorsement could secure electoral victory for anyone seeking support in the region.